Now they break from that one spot, which is fairly odd. He kicks it deep in the end zone, so we'll get no return. And that'll bring up a 1st down and 10 for the East Paulding Raiders on their own 20-yard line to start this ball game. No key injuries that I'm aware of. I see that Kyler's out there and Kamani, Mitchell Webb, Big 89. So I think East Paulding's fairly healthy. I think most of their starters are ready for tonight. They're going to break the huddle with twins to the left. Single backfield. Actually got trips to the left with a single backfield. Motion right. Going to do a toss to Kamani. Kyler makes a great block on the outside. Kamani makes his magic work, and he's going to pick up at least, looks like 6 or 7 on that, Mickey.
That's what it looked like. Danny Markell was the first in line to try to push him out of bounds from Villa Rica.
Yep, that if you don't have Kamani Thomas's feet, that was about a 3-yard gain. But with the shifty hips and the quick feet that he has, he easily picked up about 7 or 8. It's going to bring up a 2nd down, and it looks like about 2.5 yards for the East Paulding Raiders. They come out in the opposite side formation, trips to the right, going to go motion left. Looks like the same play, and other than he hands off up the middle to Kamani, who picks up, it looks to be about another 5 or 6 yards up to the East Paulding 37-yard line. So the first 2 plays have shown that the East Paulding can pretty much dominate the offensive line, Mickey.
Yes, and again, it was Danny Markell grabbing hold, and he couldn't get him down. It took about 3 or 4 others to grab hold, but Danny's the first one to grab and slow him.
We got twins left in an I formation. We got a fumble. Wow, Kyler Neal picks the ball up on the bounce. It's going to result in a loss of about 1.5 yards, but it could have been disastrous because Mitchell Webb dropped it right out from under the center, and luckily it bounced right up into the fullback's hands. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down. Well, he lost more than that. It looks like a 2nd down to about 14. Villa Rica's in the yellow pants with the white jerseys. East Paulding's got the black jerseys, silver numbers over the silver breeches. They break the huddle. They come out with a trips to the right. Single backfield. Now Kyler Neal goes across to the left side. Got a toss to Kamani. Oh, very nice tackle on the left side by number 24. Kamani almost makes it back up to the original line of scrimmage and bringing up about a 3rd down and 10.5 yards.
Yeah, 24 is Jared Weaver with Villa Rica.
Made a very good tackle on Kamani. Taking him on one-on-one and making a tackle is something that not many get an opportunity to do. He gained a little more than I said, so it's a 3rd down and about 8 yards. We got twins right, got the big tight end split way out to the Villa Rica sideline. That's an odd formation. Got a shotgun with Kyler Neal and Kamani in the backfield. Mitchell sets his feet. He takes off running. And he is going to be, it's going to be close. I don't know, it depends on the spot. He may be about 1 yard short. Close to midfield around the 47, 48-yard line. They're going to give him a short spot, so he's definitely not going to have it. It's going to bring up about a 4th down and 1.5 yards, Mickey. Looks like they're going to bring on the punting team. Gets a nice punt off, got a good hang time, got a fair catch called. Villa Rica guy, he catches it. We got a flag down. Number 13 was the Villa Rica ball player who made that fair catch, and his name is Dante Smith. But we do have a flag down near the kicker. Looks like an illegal procedure against East Paulding. I think the Villa Rica's opted to decline that penalty, so they're going to take the ball 1st down and 10 on their own 22-yard line with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. So although East Paulding came out with a 1-2 punch with Kamani Thomas picking up a 1st down, their next series of downs resulted in a fumble for a loss and then some almost enough yardage to get a 1st down, but a forced punt. So Villa Rica's in a shotgun formation with a wide receiver right and left, single back in the backfield. They're going to call it from the line of scrimmage. This looks like a no-huddle offense. Wide receiver on the right side comes in. Now he's coming across in motion. He goes to the back. We're going to hand off to big number 2. Big number 2 is Jermaine Hutchinson, and from what I hear, he is one heck of an animal. Big mule. Looks like he weighs about 225, and they said he runs like a tailback, but he's built like a fullback.
Well, East Paulding stopped him at the line, but the penalty against Villa Rica.
I didn't see that call. Looks like it's going to back him up 5 yards, so it must have been either a legal procedure or I guess that's about the only thing it could have been. Split wide receiver, single backfield, shotgun format. Hand off again to big number 2, and he rumbles across the 20-yard line. Pickup looks maybe about 2 or 3 yards. Going to bring up a second down and about 12 yards, 11 yards for the Villa Rica Wildcats.
Yep. They marked it for a 4-yard gain.
Got a full moon tonight. That means the crazies will be out.
I thought they were here in the booth.
Oh, I am. Sorry, Randy. I thought you invited me. All right, what we got is we've got an I formation out of the shotgun. Going to run an option style. Quarterback turns it up, and he meets number 5 with a head-on collision. Number 5 is Lorenzo Hammonds, and he laid the smack it down upon the quarterback. A minor gain of about 3 yards brings up a third down and about 8.5 yards for the Villa Rica. But that option quickly turned into a train wreck for the quarterback.
Yeah, Lorenzo left his name tattooed there on his chest as he hit him. So.
That was a good little pop. We got twins to the short side of the field. Big 2's in the backfield with the quarterback. Shotgun formation. Got a roll to the left. Roll to the left. He plants his feet, and he's going to get sacked by big number 55, which is Dylan Coleman. He came from the backside. Big 48 was also in on that action. Romaine Gooden. So after a fairly weak set of downs, it's going to be 4th down to 14, and it's going to force a punt for the Villa Rica Wildcats. We got number 18, Brandon Miller, back for the Villa Rica Wildcats to punt. And then we've got Mitchell Webb, number 15, close to his midfield, awaiting the punt. He gets a wobbler, not a very long kick, but he gets a great Villa Rica roll. It landed on their own 45, but rolled down to East Paulding's 41. So with the roll, he ended up getting about looks like about a 47, 48-yard punt. So it's going to bring up a 1st down and 10 for the East Paulding Raiders on their own 41-yard line with 7 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Well, the first possession by East Paulding had them with a total yardage of 23, all on runs, and then with Villa Rica, they held them to 0.
Yep.
No yards. So that's
East Paulding's got an offset eye with the wide receiver left and right. Going to fake to Kamani Thomas. Kamani makes a great block. Mitchell Webb fires a strike to number 3 for a 12, 13-yard gain. Number 3 is Trey Giles. So as you can see, that was a very nice play-action fake. When you've got a quarterback like Mitchell Webb and you've got Kamani Thomas as a threat from the running back position, the defense almost has to stay true to their defensive backs, and unfortunately they left an opening there, and Mitchell Webb took advantage of it. So they're coming out again with an I formation, twins to the left, with a 1st down from the Villa Rica Wildcats 48-yard line. Kamani Thomas gets it off the right side, virtually had nowhere to go, but ended up getting it down to about the Villa Rica 45 for a pickup of 3 or 4 yards, bringing up a 2nd down and 7 yards for the East Paulding Raiders.
Yeah, Villa Rica made a yellow and white wall right there and just moved them straight over to the sideline.
You know, though, I've very seldom seen Kamani be actually tackled for a loss. Got the I formation again with twins to the left. Got number 2 and number 3 split out wide. Kamani in the backfield with big 4-5 as the fullback. 4-5 is going to lead him up in the hole. Kamani makes one cut, a second cut, but he can't get loose. Looks like he may have not gotten anything. We had 49 and number 11 for Villa Rica on those tackles.
They did move it just inches, but it was just straight across.
This time we got I formation with Twins to the short side of the field. A quick snap. Kamani goes upfield, but he's only going to pick up about 3 yards. That's going to leave him short with a 4th down and probably 4, maybe even 5 yards. So a little surprising that they're continuing to do the ground and pound right up the middle. Nevertheless, that's going to bring out another punting opportunity for the East Paulding Raiders.
Yeah, that was Danny Markell again that wrapped him up.
Danny's made quite a few tackles in the first part of this game. We've got another flag. And then we've got an unbelievable punt. It goes in the end zone. It was an actual bomb that was hit. But I'm not sure what this penalty is, but I'm pretty sure it is against the East Paulding Raiders. We have an illegal procedure against East Paulding Raiders. We have a roughing the kicker against Villa Rica. They'll offset. So I guess they'll redo fourth down. Is that what they're doing, Mickey?
That's what it appears as they're bringing this back. Let's replay the down.
So we'll reset and try to punt again. Punter gets this one off. It's another boomer straight up in the air. Incredible hang time. Villa Rica calls for the fair catch, and number 13 makes it on about their 18, 17-yard line. Number 13 is Dante Smith again. Got good hands back there at the punt returner position. So after, with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, we've got a 0-0 ball game with Villa Rica getting another possession from their own. Looks to be about 16, maybe 17-yard line.
Villa Rica coming in with no huddle.
Hand off to Big Two again, going off the right side. That apparently is their bread and butter. He picks up, looks like maybe 2 yards. He's a big kid. No, they're going to spot him about 4 yards. I didn't think he got that much, but apparently at the angle he did. So that's going to bring up a second down to about 6 for Villa Rica.
But when he lays out, that's about 2.5 yards anyway when he lays
He's about
out.
6'4". And they've handed to him again. Same hole, same play, basically out of the same formation. This time he's going to be stopped for very little gain, possibly a yard. Bring up a 3rd down and 5, Mickey.
It does. It almost looks like they're trying to set up the defense to close in on him for the quarterback to keep it outside.
Either that or possibly hit that number 1 on the wide receiver. I've been watching him come off. Every time he comes off like he's going on a fly. So maybe they're trying to lure him into a little sleep mode and then hit him with a pass.
Whistles are blown.
I believe we've got an illegal procedure in the backfield. Let's see. Yeah, no, we've got to delay a game. So with a 3rd down and about 4.5 yards, Villa Rica shoots themselves in the foot. Now they're going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Almost a guaranteed passing situation just inside their own 20 with about 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first quarter with a 0-0 game. We got Twins right, 1 receiver left, empty backfield. Quarterback number 7's in shotgun. One's coming across from right to left in motion. Shotgun, the quarterback rolls to the right. He unleashes number 1. And although he caught it, he steps out of bounds looks like about 4 yards shy of a 1st down. So that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 4 or 5 yards for Villa Rica. And I would assume that's another punting opportunity.
It appears as though the punting is coming on, the punting squad.
And that brings Mitchell Webb back out to receive the punts for East Paulding Raiders.
Again, number 2 setting up his one-man wall to protect that punter.
Another wobbly short kick by the Villa Rica punter. It actually lands inside East Paulding territory, but I believe it's going to be caught right at midfield. East Paulding's going to have the ball 1st down and 10. on, is this their third possession, Mickey?
That'll be their East Paulding's third possession.
Third possession on their own 49-yard line, first down and 10, with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. I will say that the offense for East Paulding has looked weaker than it has in the weeks past, but Villa Rica obviously has one incredible defensive player who has made several tackles already in the first quarter.
That must be the Danny Markell.
Yeah, Danny Markell. He has been a force to be reckoned with. We've got a single receiver right, I formation, double tight formation. Looks like they're going to continue the ground and pound. Kamani comes up the middle, and this time he picks up about 11, maybe 12 yards, giving East Paulding a first down in Villa Rica territory on the Villa Rica 44-yard line.
We actually get to call another name, Terrence Boykin.
Wow.
Wrapped his legs up. Looks like he paid a price for it, though.
Yeah, that Kamani hit that hole really fast. They were in a double tight formation, and same formation this time. They got number 3 split out wide receiver. Everybody else is tight it up. Got a fake sweep, handoff to Kyler Neal. He tries to bounce it around the left, and he loses some yardage, maybe a couple yards. It's third down and 4. Yeah, so Kamani didn't get a first down. I said that incorrectly. We got a third down and 4 on Villa Rica's 45-yard line. I formation. Kamani Thomas deep behind Kyler Neal. Number 3 split out wide. Mitchell Webb under center. Got a handoff to Kamani. He powers his way up for what seems to be a first down to the 42. May require a measurement though. Yep, looks like they're going to call for a measurement. So, with 1 minute and 41 seconds left in the first quarter, East Paulding is going to have a measurement for the first down on the Villa Rica 42-yard line. And I'm almost sure that no matter what the outcome is, East Paulding would go for it. It's going to be a short distance if it is not already a first down. So, it is a first down. So East Paulding is, guess that's their second first down of the game. Is that right, Mickey?
Let's see. One on each drive so far.
Yep. So they're not being the potent offense they normally are, but maybe they're just knocking a few cobwebs out. Same formation. One wide receiver left, a right, I formation. Hand off again to Kamani Thomas up the middle. Kamani rolls and spins, and he's going to pick up, looks to be about 13 yards down to the 28-yard line.
We got a player down from Villa Rica in the backfield.
We got a big guy down. Can't tell exactly who it is right now from Villa Rica.
Looks like he's holding his left knee.
He was right in the middle of the impact zone for that off-tackle run by Kamani Thomas for the first down. We've got about a minute to go in the first quarter. Number 49 is the injured Villa Rica player.
That's our Danny Markell.
Uh-oh. That's their main bread and butter defensive guy, so don't wish any bad luck on him, but that is probably good for the East Paulding offense. East Paulding's going to come to the sideline while we take a break. All right, so after the injury, East Paulding's going to come back onto the field. Mitchell Webb at quarterback, Kyler Neal at fullback. You got Kamani Thomas at the two-back or the tailback. Big 89 at tight end to the left. Number 2 split out wide to the right. First down and 10 from the Villa Rica 29-yard line. Kamani Thomas carries it around the right side down to about the 20-yard line, so that's a pickup of about 8 or 9 yards.
And Corey Anderson, number 9 from Villa Rica, had the sole tackle. He dove and caught his knees and his legs.
Okay. All right, so let's go put the ball dead on the 20. Looks like a second down and maybe a yard and a half, Mickey, for the East Paulding Raiders. So they've stuck to the running game, and now it's starting to churn away and pick up yards. But initially they had 3 series that really didn't produce very much.
Again, you know we had to test to see what's going to happen with Danny.
Yep.
Danny Markell out of the field.
We got a fade pattern to number 2. Oh, and it was placed great. Number 2 spun around, and I think he got a little disoriented. Had good coverage on that by number 9 from Villa Rica, but the ball was placed with perfection, and it was dropped. So it's going to bring up a third down about 1.5 yards for the East Paulding Raiders. You got second down and 1 from your own, inside the other team's 20. Why not go for a play like that? It's a good call. So East Paulding's going to come back out third down and about 1.5 yards with Kamani Thomas at tailback. Going to hand off to him again, and he'll power ahead and go ahead and pick up the first down and a few extra yards to go with it. So it's going to bring up a first down. Looks like they're going to spot the ball on about the 16-yard line for the East Paulding Raiders.
First quarter ends.
So after 1 quarter of play, we have a 0-0 ball game. East Paulding is deep inside the red zone of the Villa Rica Wildcats on their 16-yard line with a fresh set of downs and an opportunity to be the first one to put some points on the board tonight. So, Nicky, you want to give a summary of the stats for the first quarter of football?
That's what I'm trying to look. Villa Rica's, it rather comes out to easy to figure out. We had 10 yards in penalty for Villa Rica. They had 2 possessions with a total of 9 yards on the ground. Resulted, like 2 possessions resulted in a punt, with each being first being of a 40-yard and then a 30-yard punt. Now, East Paulding, as we said a little bit through the injury time out there, that they had 3. They're still in their 3rd possession. We had 51, 59. That's 63 yards on the ground, 13 in the air, one incomplete, no penalties. So it's as you look on the papers, East Paulding appears to be dominating out of this. We just did nothing on the board yet to show.
Yeah, that first quarter was on both sides, by both teams, was fairly stagnant. So I'm going to give the credit to the defenses and not take away from the offenses. But East Paulding is in a great opportunity to punch one in on the first down and 10 on the Villa Rica Wildcat 16-yard line. Got a fresh set of downs. Got Kyler Neal at fullback, Kamani at tailback with Mitchell Webb at quarterback. Handoff again to Kamani. He is tackled for a short gain, but hit immediately at the line of scrimmage by, I think it was number 2. Is that number 2?
It is number 2, Jermaine Hutchinson.
That's that big running back for them. So I guess he's playing both ways, and looks like he's carrying the burden of most of the plays for offense and defense for the Villa Rica Wildcats. So it's going to bring up a second down and about 6 yards for East Paulding Raiders.
This is Kamani's feet just never stopped, even after whistle blowing. His feet still moving.
A tall sweep to Kamani. Kamani's going to try to kick it outside. He's got some good blocking. He makes a great cut upfield. He's going to get down to about, looks like about the 1.5 yard line. It's going to bring up a first down and goal for East Paulding Raiders, and unless they turn the ball over, I can almost be assured that they're going to punch one in here. I would imagine they're going to hand off to Kamani Thomas. Nope. How about a quarterback sweep?
And it's first penalty.
Yeah, we got a penalty for a horse collar as Mitchell Webb bounces around the left side and gets tackled by a horse collar. Luckily, he wasn't injured on that. That's going to make it a 6-0 ball game, and probably to be assessed on the kickoff. There will be a penalty for a horse collar by the Villa Rica Wildcats.
I even know that cannon's coming, but I still duck.
Yeah. That cannon's loud. I bet the neighbors around here love the cannon. All right, so the point after. Getting set up, big kick by number 95 for East Paulding, which is Miles Hempfield. He's a senior, and he's also one of the captains. Got a very strong leg. Mitchell Webb is the holder, which is convenient since he touches the ball every play for the East Paulding Raiders. The kick is up. It looks like he might have kicked it wide, though. No, he
Good.
kicked it through there. So, though, after a stalemated first quarter with 10 minutes and 57 seconds left in to halftime, East Paulding finally put some points on the board. First one of the night for both sides and make it a 7-0 ball game. See if I can't get a few updates on some scores. It might be a little early, but I'm going to try.
Got the frenzy from the cheerleaders throwing the shirts and balls up into the stands to celebrating the touchdown.
All right, so Hemphill, number 95, sets the ball for kickoff. The penalty was assessed from the horse collar on the touchdown by Mitchell Webb. So that gives Hemphill the opportunity to kick the ball off from Villa Rica's 45-yard line. This kid already has a leg to kick it in from normal, so I'd imagine he might hit East Paulding Drive with this kickoff.
And Villa Rica has Jermaine Hutchinson back deep.
He'll easily kick this one deep into the end zone.
Sean Hardiman was also deep as he turned and watched it go through almost through the uprights.
So Villa Rica will get their third possession on their own 20-yard line with a first down and 10 opportunity.
And Kevin Martin's going to call it from the line. Oh, slip and fall in the backfield.
Number 28 was on the carry. His feet went out from under him as he tried to cut back inside. I think he's actually going to lose a couple yards on that carry.
That's Jalen Cox.
We've got a first quarter score from Hillgrove beating Campbell 14-0. I guess if this is logged in correctly to Georgia Public Television, we've got McEacher leading Kennesaw Mountain 2-0 in the first quarter.
The quarterback keeper on this, and we catch him in the background. Kevin Martin goes down for another loss of 2 yards.
Marietta's beating Pebblebrook 14-0 in the first quarter. Walton's beating Cherokee 7-0 in the first quarter.
Villa Rica setting up with two wide out to the right. One's in motion from left to right.
Oh, he does a fake pitch, and he is going to get sacked way down to about the 2-yard line, Mickey. That was a little bit. He tried to do a fake reverse pitch. He set his feet, and he got eat alive by number 48 from the East Paulding Raiders for a sack and a loss of many, many yards and bringing up a 4th down and forever. The punter is going to have to stand with his heels on the back of the end zone. And if I were East Paulding, I probably would send everybody plus Grandma.
That was a 13-yard loss.
Looks like they're setting up for return now. We got number 2 back and Mitchell Webb. Mitchell Webb's going to get an opportunity. It looks like nope. The ball is short bounced. So he punts it out to his own 43-yard line, about a 30-yard punt, and East Paulding's going to have great field position inside Villa Rica's own territory. First down and 10 from the 43 with 9 minutes and 57 seconds left at halftime.
That was Nigel Watts with Villa Rica with that punt.
That was a fairly unproductive Villa Rica possession, wasn't it, Mickey?
It's yes. If we tally up together now, we're in the negative yards for the full game.
I figured as much. I think they got about negative 14 on the 15 on that one.
Yeah, that's we can see a 16 yards is what we're showing.
Got a pass by Mr. Webb out to the right, caught by number 3 Trey Giles. He almost gets a first down. He takes it down to the looks like Villa Rica 35-yard line, so it's going to leave up a second down and about 7 yards.
He made about 7, so we got about second and 3 yard.
I got several of my 9-year-old stud, ranked number 7th in the state, East Paulding Raider 9U. Got some stud athletes behind me who's entered the box to see what it's all about up here. We got an I formation coming out with a wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Looks like Kyler's leading Kamani. We got Mitchell Webb at quarterback. Not exactly sure what the delay is. We got number 3. Looks like we've got an issue. It looks like an equipment timeout. Everybody stopped except for the referees, as number 3, wide receiver on the right, looks like he was in search of something, perhaps a mouthpiece or something. Now that we go back to regular play, Mitchell Webb's going to get the ball. He's going to hand off to Kyler Neal up the middle. Kyler hits the hole fast, may have enough for the first down. Picks up about 2 or 3 yards. We'll see how close the spot is.
He was wrapped up by number 50, Drew Lewis. He was the first to grab him and slow him down, and then it was a whole host of Villa Rica Wildcats. At first down.
He did get enough, so he must have got about 3.5, 4 yards on that carry. Bring up another first down opportunity for the East Paulding Raiders inside Villa Rica territory on the Villa Rica 33-yard line with 9 minutes and 45 seconds to go in half. I formation for East Paulding. So hand off to somebody diving through the air, and I don't think that was Kamani. If it was Kamani, would not recommend that for the future, but that brings it. I think he gets about 4 or 5 yards on that Superman dive and bring up second down to 5 yards.
Yeah, the track coach may be salivating up here as he sees a hurdle.
Yeah, he was a good 4 feet through the air. We got twins to the left, a little bit different formation for the East Paulding Raiders. I formation, though. We're going to have a quick toss out to number 2. He catches it. Gets a block from 81, and he's thrown out of bounds about the 17, 18-yard line, which is going to bring up another first down for the East Paulding. That was Marcus Gilbert. So, with 7 minutes and 52 seconds to go before half, East Paulding is knocking at the door again with a 7-0 lead.
I lost track on that one. How many yards did we get on that pass?
We got about 7 yards.
7, yeah, that's what it was.
Yep. We've got I formation, twins to the right. Same formation as last time. Going to hand off to Kamani. He's hit in the backfield by number 55, but couldn't hold on. He outruns 23 to the sideline. He's knocked out of bounds after a pretty healthy gain. Don't know if it's enough for a first down because it's way across field. But he's going to be tackled. Looks somewhere around the 11-yard line, Mickey. Yeah, that's going to bring up a second down to about 2. So he must have got about 8 yards on that one.
8 yards.
He could have been tackled for a loss of about 2 yards, but Kamani is so dadgum fast that unless you've got a hold of him and can hold on for dear life, he's going to strip out and be gone.
And the first Villa Rica Wildcat to grab him just ended up on his back, with Kamani going over the top of him.
And he wasn't a real tiny fellow, being number 55. So we got twins to the left again. We got a handoff again to Kamani. He doesn't pick up very much on this one, maybe 2, 3 yards. Not enough for a first down, I don't believe. Going to bring up third down and about 1.5 yards for the East Paulding Raiders. Their game plan tonight is different than what I have seen in the weeks prior. They have really focused and functioned on a I formation lead, tailback carry, just power it down your throat type offense, whereas before they had a little bit more of a finesse, trying some different things. So once again, a handoff to Kamani Thomas up the middle. He looks like he takes it down to about the 3.5, 4-yard line. And with 7 minutes to go before half, East Paulding's going to have a first down and goal. Looks to be on about the 4-yard line, Mickey.
It is. The coaches they may have seen something in the Villa Rica on the first couple of drives just to go ahead and just to maintain with this.
Well, I mean, it's working. They're driving the ball down there. They're not lighting the scoreboard up by any means, but they are punching it on down the house. So I would imagine if not on this play, the next, you probably are going to hear the cannons go off again.
I've grabbed hold of the table. I'm secure in here.
We've got Kyler coming from right to left in motion. We've got, it looks to be a flag dropped.
delay a game against us.
Wow, a delay of game on a first down and goal from the 4. So that brings up first down and goal from the 9 for the East Paulding Raiders.
That'll be East Paulding's. That'll be our first penalty, 5 yard.
Kamani gets a handoff on the left side, but he doesn't pick up very many. Tackled by number 33 and number 50, number 9, and number 1 for Villa Rica.
Yeah, when you add all those numbers up, well, that's about like 125, 130 hit him.
Yeah, it was 130 of them hit him, but he does get it in. Well, it looks like he might have picked up a yard to the 8.
Yeah, that was Sean Chisholm to 33 to get the hands on him first before the others piled on.
'89 is released to the middle of the field. Mitchell Webb has avoided a sack, and I don't know how he did it. And he throws the ball to Big 89, but he drops it right in the back of the end zone. I don't know how Mitchell Webb had the ability to. He had 3 guys on him the minute that he faked that handoff, and he rolled out to the right, got loose, but unfortunately we have a drop pass in the end zone. That's going to bring up a third down and goal from the 8 for the East Paulding Raiders. So a little over 5 minutes before half. Twins left, twins right, shotgun formation. First time we've seen this formation tonight. We got a timeout call by Goddard. He wants to talk it over, make sure everybody's clear. We hadn't run this offense in a couple of quarters, so he wants to make sure they still remember what's going on. So, 5 minutes and 36 seconds to go. We have a 7-0 ball game. East Paulding's got the ball, third down and goal from the 8-yard line, and I would have thought they would have punched it in, but maybe they will on the next 2 opportunities.
As you said, that previous play, Mitchell Webb showing a lot of patience and a lot of resilience standing in, seeing the 3, because as you said, those guys aren't small at all, and he actually stiff arms one to the ground to get by before he gets the pass, throws across his body, and puts it to the end zone. Breaking out of the huddle from the timeout.
We got twins right, twins left, shotgun formation of Mitchell Webb, Kamani Thomas to his right. First time we've seen this offense tonight. Got a blitz coming from Villa Rica, picked up well by East Paulding. It went off of 24, which is Lorenz Suttle's hands. Kyler Neal almost caught it behind him. Nevertheless, he didn't, which brings up a 4th down and 8, and it looks to be a field goal opportunity. You got Captain Miles Hemphill coming on for what will appear to be, looks like about a 25-yard field goal.
There had to be a hit. There was a hit from Villa Rica right at the time his hands touched.
Yep, and it bounced off of Suttles, hit Kyler Neal in the hands, and unfortunately dropped to the ground. We've got an update. Well, we've got a field goal that's good. They kicked that pretty quick. So 5 minutes and 23 seconds to go. We've got a 10-0 ball game, East Paulding Raiders. We've got a score update. North Paulding is beating Woodland of Bartow 21-0 in the second quarter. So it hadn't been a real active scoring ball game, but we are seeing that East Paulding Raiders can play smash mouth football and absolute drive a tailback down your throat. So after the field goal, 10-0, a little over 5 minutes to go for half. Number 95 Hemphill is going to prepare for a kickoff.
The Villa Rica defense has to be getting somewhat tired as they've been on the field.
They have literally been on the field for, I would say, 70% of this ball game. And a bunch of them are playing both ways, like the big tailback number 2. He's playing both ways. So
Sean Hardeman back deep again for Villa Rica. Can't quite catch that number. It's 90.
83 or 85.
It's either Isaiah Roberts or Tay Holtz.
I think it might be Tay Holtz. It is. It's Tay Holtz. So him prepared to kick one off. He typically boots it into the end zone. With the athleticism of what I see deep, I would kick it in the end zone. I wouldn't trust the hands of those two fellas. They look pretty athletic to me. So. He kicks it deep, and it will go into the end zone. So we'll get a touchback. Villa Rica will take the ball first down and 10 on their own 20 with 5 minutes and 23 seconds before half. So it's been a little different ball game than I had anticipated. But we do have another half. We ain't even done with this one yet, so we'll see how it progresses. Once again, an update on that North Paulding game. North Paulding is beating Woodland Abarto 21-0 in the second quarter. Trying to get some additional scores for you guys. Georgia Public Television. GPB. I need GPB to be a little bit more intense and directive on their score posting so that I can look like I know what I'm doing up here in the press box. We got number 7 at quarterback for Villa Rica. Big number 2 and big at fullback. 28 behind him. We're in a shotgun offset formation. Wide receiver left. He's going to hand off to 28, led by number 2. Number 2 lays a nice block. 46 for East Paulding, which is Brady Marcus, a junior, makes the tackle after a pickup of what appears to be maybe a yard or two. The chains weren't moved from the previous possession, which is kind of odd since it was after a kickoff, but nevertheless they weren't. So we're getting reset here. We'll bring up a second down and about 8 yards for Villa Rica.
Called first down.
Why is it still first down?
They moved them to they called them over the 30, so they moved the chains.
Oh, he picked up enough of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Excuse me. We've got now a second down and about 4 for Villa Rica, as they did get a first down on that last opportunity. We got a timeout, Villa Rica.
Yeah, I'm showing 2nd and 3. So we got 7 yards on this.
I'm a little confused because they had the markers all jacked up.
That's what's happening. The announcers beside us here for the game that's announcing to the crowd. They've looked in the same fashion when the chains move like they did.
We got Kell beating North Springs 20-0 in the second quarter. Alatoon's beating South Paulding 7-0 in the second quarter. Woodstock is actually beating Lassiter 7-6 in the first quarter. So one of my good buddies is Brent Buddy, is the head coach of Woodstock. I would love to see him get that upset. So. All right, Villa Rica after the timeout is going to have the ball. Looks like second down to about 3 or 4 yards on their own 36, 37-yard line. They're going to hand off to Big 2. He's got some room. He stiff arms one. He's broke around the outside. He's going to make somebody pay, and he takes it all the way down to the East Paulding Raiders 46-yard line for a first down.
Johnny Furby.
Yep,
arm tackles him. I
got an Alatoona beating South Paulding 14-0 now. Sequoia is beating Sprayberry 14-13 in the second. Creekview over Osborne 14-0. McEachern's beating Kennesaw Mountain 18-0. Kell's 34-0 over North Springs. McEachern already quoted. So Hillgrove's beating Campbell 28-0.
Jermaine Hutchinson carries again for about 5 yards straight up the middle. That's after he made that 17-yard run just previous.
Villa Rica's starting to get their own little ground and pound going with that big old fullback / tailback. Got a second down and a little bit less than 5 yards. You got about 3 minutes and 15 seconds East Paulding's got a 10-0 lead and 3 minutes to go for half. Shotgun formation, hands off to Big 2. He bounces this one outside, but he's hit by most of the East Paulding Raiders. He might have picked up a yard. He picked up 1 yard, bringing up a 3rd down and 4 yards for the Villa Rica Wildcats inside East Paulding on their own East Paulding 40-yard line.
Number 85, Luke Rudd, and number 5, Lorenzo Hammonds. Number 6, Johnny Furby. Tie him up and bring him down right at the line.
Quarterback decides to keep it. He follows Big 2 through the hole. Very nice pull. Very smart of him. Number 7. He gets a 1st down with a nice pickup. Dylan Coleman makes the tackle for the East Paulding Raiders, but not after about a 7 or 8 yard pickup and a 1st down for Villa Rica. Down on the 32-yard line for the East Paulding Raiders. So Villa Rica's starting to get a little groove going.
This is the 3rd 1st down.
Big 28 goes up the middle. He gets virtually nothing. 51 makes the tackle. That is Jeffrey McClarty, who's a senior. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down in about 9 yards. Wow, that was read perfectly by Lorenz Suttles. We had an I formation, shotgun, option left. Quarterback goes to turn and turns it up, and Suttles makes a tackle for virtually no gain, and a great, great setup by the East Paulding defense. So they pretty much shut down that option opportunity. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Villa Rica Wildcats with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go before half. Villa Rica's taking quite a long time, which is odd because the clock is ticking. And after about 30, 40 seconds, they call timeout. That is, it's not what I would have done in a coaching scenario, but perhaps they know more about it than I do. With 1 minute, 13 seconds to go, Villa Rica trails East Paulding 10-0 here in the Boneyard with a 3rd down and about 8 or 9 yards on the East Paulding Raiders 31-yard line.
Yeah, you look at the running on that clock, it's almost as giving up for the quarter, not for the – that or he plans on scoring off this and doesn't want much time left on the clock for East.
Got an update on the North Paulding. They're beating Woodland of Bartow 28-0 in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, way to go, Wolfpack.
Called all them. Alatoona still beating South Paulding 14-0 in the 2nd. Hiram must be off this week. Are they? Not seeing any Hiram scores, so I assume they may be off. They may have a bye for this week.
Let Randy get plugged in. He get plugged into his network.
Come on, get on that World Wide Web, Daddy.
Get him connected.
All right, so after the timeout, Villa Rica comes out. They've got twins right, wide receiver left, single backfield only back in the backfield is a quarterback at 7. They're going to hand the ball off to 1, and he is going to set up and throw a ugly pass. And if not for number 6 and number 22 for East Paulding knocking each other down, probably one of them would have picked that ball off. Nevertheless, that was a quacking duck flying with one wing through the air, falling short of the receiver on a wide receiver motion reverse pass.
And you're being all too nice when describing that ball as it took flight.
The looks like we've got a 4th down, and surely to goodness they're not going to try this. Okay, they're going to try is that a 47-yard field goal? 37 plus 10. Yep. 47-yard field goal.
Yards.
Snap is it. It's kicked. He may have it. Oh, he had the distance. He was just a little off. Oh. So number 39 for Villa Rica tries a 47-yard field goal and almost made it. But he didn't, and almost don't put points on the board. So after a 1 minute shy of a half of football, we've got a 10-0 ball game with the East Paulding Raiders leading the Villa Rica Wildcats. They've got a 1st down and 10 opportunity on their own 20 to probably just run the clock out and go into half and talk about what they did wrong and right in the first half. I don't know. They come out in a twins right, single receiver left, I formation with Kamani and Mitchell Webb. Actually, we come out with twins left, twins right. We had a receiver who wasn't on the field. We hand off to Kamani, so they will run the clock out, it looks like. Kamani hitting the backfield, but like always, picks up a couple yards. Second down for the East Paulding Raiders with about 48, 49 seconds and a timeout by the East Paulding Raiders. So I'm not sure if they're going to try to do something or, I mean, that'd be the only reason to call a timeout, wouldn't it? Personally, if I were going to go deep, I wouldn't have called timeout. Because now they're preparing for the deep pass.
All the players are intently looking, so there's something being drawn out, discussed. It definitely wasn't just to come
They're
in and say.
probably going to go with that world-renowned double reverse flea flicker. They've mastered that. Scored over 200 points this year with it. Oh, they're coming out with a trips right, wide receiver left, Kamani in the backfield with Mitchell. I guess they will try to take a crack at it, which could be a very risky gamble inside their own, deep in their own. So, no, they're just going to run a quarterback sweep. He avoids one guy, he avoids a second guy, he avoids a third guy, and he's going to run out of bounds with a pickup of about 13, 14 yards to about the 39-yard line for the East Paulding Raiders. So Mitchell Webb, he carries it out and gets him out of their own territory. Long run for him. 40 seconds left on the clock, so now they've got a little bit more cushion room to be a little more aggressive on their opportunity to try to punch one in here for half. Same formation, trips to the right, single receiver left. Kamani's in the backfield with Mitchell. Shotgun. Pass is a little high, intended for number 2. Marcus Gilbert goes incomplete. Going to bring up a second down and 10 with 35 seconds to go on the East Paulding Raiders' 39-yard line.
So I guess nothing gambled, nothing gained, but that's so he says, high as that was, there's a little risk because there was one Villa Rica.
If he'd have called it, it would have been him and Jesus going to the end zone. We got twins right, twins left. Kamani's in the backfield. Mitchell Webb offset to the right. Shotgun formation. Mitchell sets back. He's got to get rushed from behind. Stays in the pocket. Once again throws the ball high. Tipped by Collar. Almost picked off by number 4 from Villa Rica. So almost 2 interceptions. 30 seconds to go before half on their own 39. Third down and 10, and East is really rolling the dice with a 10-0 lead in this game. Loren Suttles comes off. Big 89 to tight end, which is Aaron Black, comes on. We're going twins right. Single receiver left, I formation. Now I imagine they're just going to burn the clock off right here. They hand it off to Kamani. He gets wrapped up in the backfield for a loss of at least 5, but maybe as many as 7. Looks like the right offensive line forgot that they were playing football on that play. That brings up a 4th down and about 15, maybe 16 yards for East Paulding. I guess Villa Rica called timeout to force East Paulding to punt, which is smart. Never know what can happen in a punting situation. So after a failed gamble by the East Paulding Raiders, the chain crew on the far side of the field obviously hasn't done a lot of chain crewing because they moved the chains just now back to the 4th down spot. Yeah, we have replacement crews is what I've been told by Randy Riggs, which is the reason for their failure. We've got number 13 back for Villa Rica, which is Dante Smith, awaiting the punt. So East Paulding being forced to punt from their own 34-yard line after a 5-yard loss, bring up a 4th down and 15. He barely gets it off. They hit the kicker. So they get a penalty. They're going to get a 1st down. So they almost blocked the punt, but instead they hit the kicker. East Paulding gets it with a fresh set of downs. Not real sure what that call was. Didn't they call a roughing the kicker?
He did. I think his leg's a little sore. His leg's not getting very far off the ground when he's.
Okay.
Somebody declined or not declined, but it must be offsetting something.
Not real sure what just happened. I guess there was offsetting penalties. Nevertheless, Villa Rica's going to get the ball on their own 29-yard line with about 12 seconds to go. So I would assume they'll run it out. That's what I would do. But you never know. Got to update. North Paulding is beating Woodland of Bartow County 35-0 with a minute and a half to go in half.
Yeah, he takes a knee. Villa Rica takes a knee, so they're running that out.
All right, so the clock's been run out. That'll bring us to halftime. We have a 10-0 ball game with East Paulding leading, but with a very ugly lead. And hopefully Coach Goddard and his other coaches can light some fires under East Paulding's rear ends and come out and be the East Paulding we're accustomed to.
Yeah, for the second.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break to reboot the system, and then we'll be right back. Thank you. Nothing ball game. East Paulding winning. East Paulding getting ready to kick off. Big 95 Hemphill. He's going to approach the ball, and he's going to boom it. Looks like it might be in the end zone. Yep, it's deep in the end zone, so we'll get a touchback, which is common for Hemphill and the East Paulding Raiders. So Villa Rica will have the ball on the first possession after halftime on their own 20-yard line with probably dead on 12 minutes to go. So we're ready for some more football. Also got to update, it's 40-0 North at the half over Woodland and Bartow. Paulding County is winning 17-7 at half over Lithia Springs. And on the first possession in the first carry, big number 2 comes off the right side with an 11-yard gain. So apparently the Villa Rica coaches saw something or did something different, and it was very successful because they come out with a 1st down right out the gate. It's going to bring up a 1st down and 10 on the Villa Rica 32-yard line after that 12-yard carry. We'll hand it off to Big 2 again. This time he's not quite as successful. Tackled by most of the interior of the East Paulding defensive line. Looks like maybe a gain of 1.5 on that, bringing up a 2nd down and about 8.5 for the Villa Rica Wildcats. Number 1 gets the ball. I don't remember him carrying it in the first half, but he carries it around the right side. Actually, a very nice run. Picks up about 4 yards, maybe 5. No, it looks like they're going to spot it about 3.5 yards, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Villa Rica Wildcats. But that kid seemed to have some speed under his feet, so never know. They may have a new weapon at hand there.
That's Quantavious Cousins. He was one of the team is one of the team captains.
Got a pass by number 7, knocked down by big 24, Lorenz Suttles. Now that was a good play, and that's probably going to force a punt for the 4th down and 6. They had an open receiver on a slant, but it was knocked down by Lorenz Suttles, who got his big arms stuck up in the air and blocked that one down. Number 18 for Villa Rica, back deep to punt. Mitchell Webb, 15, back on his own 30-yard line to receive the punt. Good snap. Punts away. A little better punt than we've seen. Mitchell Webb gets the opportunity to return this. He breaks one tackle, turns the corner. Looks like he's going to get a pretty good pickup after catching it on his own 34. He takes it out to about the 47-yard line. So a 13-yard return for Mitchell Webb on a punt return after breaking a tackle right at the right when he caught the ball. So East Paulding have a ball first down to 10 on their own 47-yard line with 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. East Paulding comes out twins to the left. Kyler Neal to the right. He'll probably go in motion to lead Kamani on the left side. Nope. They're going to pitch it straight to that short side of the field. Great block by Kyler Neal. Awesome run by Kamani Thomas. He gets rode out of bounds by number 9 for Villa Rica, but not after a gain of about 5 to 6. Looks like about 6 yards. Bring up a second down and 4 inside Villa Rica territory on the Villa Rica 46-yard line. Got a score of Walton 14-0 over Cherokee at half. Lassiter 9-7 over Woodstock at half. That was not a very productive play that time. Kamani goes off the right side, and I believe he might have lost a yard on that one.
It looks like they end up giving him a half a yard because it's back down to what? It's 2 yards to go, 3 yards.
Here's a surprising score in 5A football. Rome 21, New Manchester 15.
Kamani shows his ability to cut back because his outside was cut off. He turns it back inside, gets him about 4.5, 5 more yards than what he would if he'd maintained his outside path.
And another first down for the East Paulding Raiders on the Villa Rica 39-yard line. We've got a timeout. Looks like a referee timeout. Looks like an equipment timeout over on the Villa Rica sidelines. One of them's operating on a helmet. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. East Paulding got a lead 10-0. Got a ball first down and 10 on the Villa Rica 39-yard line. East Paulding comes out with offset eye, twins left, tight end right. Mitchell Webb quarter. Got a motion by Kyler Neal from left to right. Got a fake to Kamani. Looks like we're going to air one out. Throw it short to the tight end. Great catch by big number 89, Aaron Black. He carries it down to about the 26-yard line and another first down for the East Paulding Raiders. Man, I would love to see a lot more of that, Mickey.
That was beautiful. He's by himself. He was wide open.
Good play action. Had a receiver, had 3 receivers released. Looks like he checked off on the third guy, which is the tight end in the flats, dumped it. Good pickup. Nice play. Goes back to the handoff up the middle. Kamani goes up the middle and gets hit by number 9 and number 11, number 40 and number 60 from Villa Rica. Although he picked up 3 yards, he absolutely earned all 9 feet of that action.
That's Malcolm Mobley. He's one of the captains for Villa Rica as well, and then of course Corey Anderson. We've heard his name a couple of times on the defensive line as well as offensive.
Villa Rica has a very good defense, strong, very quick to the football. They hit a little high, and that's what's allowing East Paulding to get more yards after the contact. But we've got twins left, tight end right, I formation. A handoff again to Kamani right up the middle. Kamani goes down to about the 14-yard line.
It was Jermaine Hutchinson that as he got low that time. Actually, I think he fell and just happened to catch Kamani's legs.
Yeah, that's another first down for East Paulding on the 15-yard line of Villa Rica with about 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. So East Paulding working on a nice drive here. A one play action pass. Other than that, it's been a Kamani Thomas handoff ceremony. Wide receiver right, wide receiver left, tight end right, I formation. Uh-oh, we got some movement. Fullback left earlier, the center snap late. No matter what, we have a 5-yard penalty against the East Paulding Raiders for illegal procedure. They'll bring up a first down and 15 on the Villa Rica 20-yard line. All right, after the penalty, East breaks the huddle. Wide receiver right, wide receiver left, tight end right, I formation. 4-5 at fullback. Going to do an out pattern to number 2. Cornerback playing way off number 2. And he literally just bounced it outside and carried it in. That's Marcus Gilbert for it looked to be about a 18-yard touchdown. And there goes the big cannon. So first passing touchdown of the game by Mitchell Webb to number 2, Marcus Gilbert. And all of a sudden, we've got a 16-0 ball game with the extra point to come. That's the East Paulding I've been looking for.
Yeah, they woke up through the halftime show.
Extra point's good. That makes it 17-0 with 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. How long a drive was that, Mickey?
That's why I was looking. That's 53 yards.
53 yards, nice drive. Really only one play stuff for no or a loss. 2 passes. I thought that was much improved play calling and action by the offense for the East Paulding Raiders that time. Mickey, I got $10. Says Hemp Hill puts it in the end zone. You want to bet?
No, I think I'm going to pass on that one. Huh?
That kid's very talented, got a strong leg. I'd like to see him have an opportunity maybe to go to the next level. Miles Hemphill. Sounds like a kicker, doesn't it? It's only his 2nd year of football. Very talented athlete. I bet he played soccer, though. Usually your best kickers that come from the soccer world. He was offered to be on the United States Olympic soccer team, so that's pretty solid right there. Well, he's getting ready to kick a different kind of football, and he's probably going to kick it right over the head at number 8 for Villa Rica. And you would have lost the bet, Mickey.
Yeah, that I would have.
7 yards deep in the end zone, touchback once again for Hemphill and East Paulding Raiders. Villa Rica have the ball, first down and 20. 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Down 17-0. Got a score from the North Paulding game. North Paulding at half is winning 40-0 over the Woodland from Bartow County. Paulding County was up just before half, 17-7 against Lithia Springs.
Yeah, first play out is a pass out the outside to number 3, Devontae Bailey, who dives to make the. Well, no, it was incomplete, so he didn't catch it. That's. Well, Bifocal's playing games here. It looked like he had.
Well, it is a long way from here all the way to the other sideline, so I won't give you too much grief. If it was on the other sideline, I probably would razz you a little bit. Villa Rica getting the pistol-style shotgun formation. Quarterback's going to try to pass again. Got plenty of time. Great throw, but he threw it just outside of number 12 for Villa Rica, which is Staff Thomas. But I'm going to tell you,
there's a flag.
He had a step, and looks like he had an opportunity to catch that ball, but we have a yellow hanky. Is there a flag on that?
Well, they moved something. You know, that's something they have on their sideline. That must be a marker that they're looking for the.
All right, so that's going to bring up a third down and 10 for the Villa Rica Wildcats. Rome's winning 21-15 over Manchester, New Manchester right now. 5A football. Got to roll to the left. He's going to stop, come back to the right. Shifty quarterback. He's going to try to run this one, and he's tackled. Tay Ray stayed at home on the backside like he's trained to do for no gain. Very good play by Tay Ray and the East Paulding Raiders to bring up a 4th down and 9 and a forced punt from the 21-yard line of Villa Rica. Mitchell Webb will be back around his 43-yard line waiting for the punt. Punt, very short, high punt. Fair catch called by Mitchell Webb. Right dead in the left eye, or the patched eye of the Raiders symbol on the 50-yard line. So after the punt, we got a little over 5 minutes to go till till the end of the third quarter. East Paulding leads 17-0.
That's Villa Rica repeating the first quarter. Is in the third. It's 3 and out. 3 and out.
3 and out. 3 and out. Woo! McEacher and Marietta battling at 29-28. McEacher leading. That's a good little war going on. Got a blitz. Oh, a quick handoff. Oh, my goodness. Kyler Neal just lowered his shoulder after picking up 11 yards. And I'm not sure who he made punish, but whoever he made punish, wish he didn't play football on that last play.
It's Terrence Boykin on Villa Rica, and I think he's looking over the sideline to find out what his last name is right now.
Because, man, Kyler Neal hit that hole like a speeding bullet and never slowed up. Run slap over number 24 Villa Rica and got a first down on the Villa Rica 39-yard line. So, man, Kyler Neal's got some wheels too. East Paulding tries to pull them off sides because they were jumping pretty hard on that last possession. They hand off to Kamani Thomas. He drags a pile of them down to the 26-yard line of the Villa Rica Wildcats for another first down. East Paulding Raiders. Got a handoff. Who's that, a Kyler Neal?
Look like number 20.
I think it was 30, Kyler Neal.
30,
yep,
yeah.
Kyler Neal off the right tackle. He picks up looks like about 5, maybe 6 yards. Bring up a second down and 4.5 for the East Paulding Raiders on the 20-yard line of the Villa Rica Wildcats. A little over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Got a timeout. Is that what we have?
Yeah.
Timeout, Villa Rica. So they're probably giving that poor defense a break. They were on the field about 75% of the first half, and I think they've been on the field most all of this third quarter. I'd say at least 7 out of 8 minutes.
Well, their first series took 1.5 minutes. The second series took just about the same, about 2 minutes. That's what, about 3.5 minutes
out of 12. So yeah, they've been out there for most of the game. So. Coach, I happen to mention them 9-year-old Raiders are ranked number 7 in the state. Did I mention that? Okay, I thought I did.
I haven't heard it within the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Of course, we got the studs coming in behind you again to support you.
To the right, to the left behind me. I got these little future superstars. Y'all gonna be wanting to get autographs signed from them in the future. Yeah, we got a 10-year-old quarterback stud. Clark Paul's behind me. He's the raw deal. Brother plays on the eighth grade team. So, and they're having a pretty good season this year as well. So, all right, after the timeout, after Villa Rica's timeout, we come out with a tight end right, wide receiver left, I formation. Kyler Neal offset to the right. Kamani directly behind quarter. So it's going to be a handoff to Kamani. Ooh, he kicked it outside. Probably wasn't in his best decision on that one. He might have lost a yard on that play. At a minimum, he broke even. Bringing up a third down and about 4 or 5 yards. Yeah, he lost a yard. 3rd down and 5. 7 now. Same formation. East Paulding looking at a 3rd down and 5. Trying to draw him off sides. Then they hand off to Kamani. He has a huge hole. You don't want to give that kid, huge hole. I didn't see anybody hit him, but he fumbles the ball, and I think Villa Rica might have recovered it on their own 10. Referees are trying to dig through the pile. East Paulding recovered. Very lucky East Paulding recovered. I believe that might have been big 53 for East Paulding, Connor Christian, who recovered that ball. Nevertheless, they got away with a lucky one there, bringing up a 1st down and goal for the East Paulding Raiders. Looks like on about the 9.9 yard line. They were about an inch inside of not being able to get another 1st down for a touchdown. So, lucky opportunity there for the East Paulding Raiders. Got twins right, receiver left. Been tossed sweep to Kamani. Nice block by Kyler Neal, seals the end. Kamani carries it into the end zone, knocks out the referee, knocks the pylon down. Great diving score. I'm not sure the referee truly can see if that was a touchdown, considering he was airborne with Kamani. But they give it to him, making it a 23-0 ball game with an opportunity to make it 24 when Hemp Hill comes out for the extra point at top.
So the first drive was a 53-yard. We have a 50-yard drive.
That's what happens when you get the ball at midfield every time. After the kick, extra point's good. Makes it a 24-0 ball game with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So, after struggling in the first half, only put 10 points on the board, the East Paulding Raiders have now come out, put an additional 14 on, and not quite a full quarter of football. So, I think Coach might have had a chat with him. Just saying. That's the exciting East Paulding football I like, though.
Yeah, you're seeing that intensity rise, but you also intensity rising against a tired defense.
It is a very tired defense, and I can only think that they're going to continue to diminish in this game. Also, losing number 49 early in the ball game was a terrible, terrible setback for the Villa Rica Wildcats, because he was a one-man wrecking crew in the first quarter.
I checked with the coaching staff from Villa Rica, and they hadn't gotten word through halftime yet from the hospital.
I would assume he probably broke either his ankle or his tibia, maybe his foot, something. They put him in an air cast, carried him off. Hemp Hill will prepare to kick another one into the end zone. Would you like the $10 bet this time, Mickey?
I think I'm going to pass
Come
again.
on. You think Hemp Hill can truly kick it through the uprights every time? Kid's an athlete, man.
That's what. From what I've seen nothing weaken.
Yeah. Unless he trips, I feel good about his opportunity here. Yep, he boots another one. Looks like about 8 yards deep this time. So another touchback for Hemp Hill and the East Paulding Raiders. Poor old Villa Rica starts again on their 20-yard line. You know, it's tough to compete in a ball game when you start on the 20 and the other team starts on the 50. But you know, East Paulding's doing what they got to do to manage the field position. And I'm not sure the clock operator's actually running that clock very often, because it's been 3 minutes for about 2 possessions now. Shotgun formation, going to hand off to big number 2, I think. No, that's not number 2. It's a different kid who runs over somebody. Number 28. And he fumbles as he goes out of bounds, but he picks up a heap of yardage. He goes from his own 20 down to the East Paulding 40, so that is that a 40-yard pickup? Did I add that up right?
Let's see, so that's
30, 40? Yeah, 40-yard pickup.
20, 30, 40 yards. That was Lorenz Suttles caught him from behind and brought him down and knocked the ball out of his hand as he was falling, but it sailed out of bounds as they.
That might be more yards than the whole offense is combined with that 40-yard run by Villa Rica.
It is.
He lowered his shoulder and ran over the first guy and scampered for 40 more yards. I'd hand it to him again. Oh, number 7 pulls it from number 2. And unfortunately, 48 was there, or fortunately for East Paulding, 48 was there. Unfortunately for the quarterback, he was there. 48's helmet comes off, which is Romaine Gooden, who is has his name called each week. Going to be a 2 or 3 yard loss. Romaine's got to come out because of the helmet rule. Nevertheless, East Paulding forces them now to a second down and 12.5, 13 yards on the East Paulding Raiders' 43-yard line. Oh, 45. Wow, he was hit hard. Number 45 come up and lateth the smacketh down.
DJ James.
Yeah, he might have got back to the original line of scrimmage, but he didn't do it without a headache. Yep, he got
a yard.
Maybe a yard. Bring up a 3rd down and 11 for the Villa Rica Wildcats on the East Paulding Raiders' 42-yard line.
Yeah, the Raider cowbells have come out in the audience now.
Yep. Yeah, there's a little life in the audience because the Raiders are playing a little bit more aggressive, strong football. Number 7 was a shotgun. East Paulding called a timeout because we had 3 receivers left but only 2 defenders left. So that math typically doesn't work.
Not at all.
So we got a timeout with 1:45 to go in the 3rd quarter, which seems to be the longest quarter in the history of high school football. See if I can't dig up a few scores for the folks listening.
Well, we've got an East Paulding player laying over on the track. The trainer's with him. I haven't got a number yet. It looks like a possibly cramp. They're doing some stretches.
Yep, usually with this kind of weather at this time, about this time in the game, the cramps start jumping on people, and you know it's tough. These kids got strong, tight muscles. They work them out all the time. They really, most of them have fairly poor nutrition. Don't hydrate themselves properly.
You mean hamburgers and French fries and pizzas? Just not the
it
right
works
nutrition
for me, but it doesn't work for these stronger children. Let's see if I can't get a score update. $43-0 North Paulding in the 3rd quarter against Woodland of Bartow County. Quarterback scrambling for his life. He throws one, and it was
in and out of hands.
Intended for number 13, but broken up by, I think, number 6, Johnny Furby, a junior for East Paulding. Very nice defensive play. Brings up a 4th down, but trailing 24-0. I would assume they'll probably go for this. Why not?
Furby, I think he was jumping up and down because I think he was about a step, maybe a half a step off from being able to pick that off coming in.
He was on the verge of being in the end zone down there, saying hi to mama.
Villa Rica's decided to go for it this deep in the field and with a score like it is.
Well, they might as well. East Paulding's had the ball on their own 40 every time they started it. We got a penalty.
Flags.
Looks like we've got I believe number 4 might have left early for the Villa Rica Wildcats, wide receiver over on the left side in a twins formation. So that changes it from a 4th and 11 to about a 4th and 16 for Villa Rica. And I don't think that'll change the coach's decision to go for it, but it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for Villa Rica to get a first down. I will say this. In that shotgun, it does seem that the offensive line for Villa Rica is doing a fair job at containing the defense and giving the quarterback some time to throw it. They have changed their mind after the penalty, and they're going to set up number 18 to punt. That's Brandon Miller. He punts a wobbly ball most of the time, but usually it's very hard to run back. Mitchell Webb goes back deep on his own 15-yard line for the punt return. Oh, a much better punt this time. Very deep. He's going to probably let it go. Nope, he fair catches it on the 3. So probably will be talked to a little bit about that one.
And that being one of the better punts, that still had that forward motion, wasn't going. It would have been a touch.
It would.
Touchback.
Yeah. But at least to get an opportunity, instead of having 50-yard drives, they can get a 97-yard drive this time.
Maybe he just wanted the challenge. That's what it was.
Perhaps he wanted his stats to improve.
He's at a 53 and a 50-yard, so he's wanting to go for a 97 now.
Why not? Minute to go in the third quarter. High formation. East Paulding on their own 2.5, 3 yard line, it appears. Fake to Kamani. Oh, and they're going for the broke.
He's open.
And he's open. Oh, Lord help us all. Number 2, Marcus Gilbert, open on the 50-yard line. A pass that was thrown 6 yards deep in the end zone now, folks. Let me add this up. Hit him on the 50. That's 56-yard pass. Hit him on the money. Dropped. So, brings up a 2nd down and 10. But, for the record, Mitchell Webb just threw a ball 56 yards on the money.
Over the right shoulder, right to the numbers.
Man, that was a nice pass. Nice pass. But it results in nunca, nada, zilch, zero. We'll throw again. Throws a nice out to number 2. Well, it really doesn't matter because number 2 has broken it, and he's taking it down to the 35-yard line for a pickup of 32 yards and a first down for the East Paulding Raiders. So that was the same play that they threw just a little while ago for the touchdown. It's basically wide receiver lines up tight to the inside, then bounces to the outside. Mitchell Webb's got such a strong arm, the cornerback's playing off of him 10 yards. He can't break on it in time. He's coming up with a forward motion, and the wide receiver literally just bounces it outside the corner and goes downfield. So got an offset I formation, going to hand off to Kamani Thomas up the middle. He bounces it. He might go. He is gone. There's no way they will catch Kamani Thomas unless they call in the GBI. Kamani brings it in for a touchdown. That's going to be about a 70-yard, is that right? 68-yard touchdown for Kamani Thomas. And now they're rocking and rolling, folks. 30 points scored. 30 to nothing. 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. So we went with an entire half with 10 points. And we've gone 21 points in 1 quarter of football. So that kind of just lets everybody know, hey, we was just kidding the first half. We just playing.
Just playing. Coming out resting a little bit.
Hemphill set up for the extra point. Probably going to be good. And it is. So with just a few seconds left in the third quarter, East Paulding Raiders takes it from their own 3-yard line, 97 yards with a 65-yard. 65-yard scamper by Mr. Kamani Thomas, leading the game now, 31 to nothing.
Three plays, an incomplete pass. It would have been the touchdown, as you said, that 56-yard right in the numbers, but drop pass. Then a 32-yard pass with a 65-yard run. Kamani just came out of that. Everybody was huddled in the middle, and then all of a sudden you see 28 coming out just barreling down the field with no one able to catch him.
Well, we all knew that eventually he was going to bust one through that middle for a big gain. I mean, for God's sakes, you can't keep a horse like that in the stables all night. I bet we get an opportunity to see Tay-Ray run the ball here shortly. Tay-Ray is number 22, who is a sophomore, played in our youth program at East Paulding. Very successful, smart, strong young man. Very fast. I would say he might actually be faster than Kamani. Not by no means as much experience as Kamani, but I think they'll probably put him in to play some. They did the last time that they got up. So Hemphill will tee off again on another pigskin. Do you want that $10 bet that Hemphill takes?
No, that's where.
Okay.
It's stand in denial.
Okay. Hemphill squares up, and he's probably fixing to kick it well over the top of the receiving team. And he does. This one's about 9.5 yards. So instead of his leg getting tired, I think it might be getting stronger.
Getting pumped.
Once again, I think Villa Rica has been pretty consistent with this. They got the ball on their own 20-yard line, first down and 10, with about 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Yeah. Randy Riggs made fun of me because it sounds like recording because Villa Rica starts on their own 20-yard line every play. Same pistol-style shotgun formation for Villa Rica. We'll hand off to, I think, 28 around the left side. We've got a penalty. It's a late penalty. I think it's thrown on that big number 20, and I'm going to say he might have had a little extracurricular activity after the play. So, unfortunately, Villa Rica might be getting a little frustrated, and that's unfortunate because they've actually battled without many penalties through the first half of this ball game, but I think that's going to cost them about 15, Mickey.
Yeah, that's going to negate, what, about a 4 or 5 yard run?
Yeah, a fair run. No, they took it back. I guess it's half the distance or something. Anyway, it ended up on the 15-yard line. It must have been half the distance to the goal line.
So we actually ended up feeling.
Brings up a first down, and it looks like be about 16, 17 would be my guess. Got to go to the 30. Oh, well, we got to go to the 30, so yeah, 1st and 15 dead on. Gonna dive up the middle. Not sure if that was number 2 or number 28. No matter who it was
28.
No gain. That'll end the third quarter with the East Paulding Raiders winning 31-0. So we got a little fourth quarter play coming up. East Paulding's going to improve their winning streak in this ball game.
Well, so it said Villa Rica started out. They had 4 possessions, all starting on the 20-yard line. With that's good gracious. They had that 140-yard run. It'd be a highlight for them, and that everything else was negative yardage, and just like I said, 3. They've had about 2. Looks like 2 first downs now. Paulding County each possession has scored out of this with a 53-yard total, 50-yard total, and then a 97-yard total for.
I told you Webb just wanted to increase their stats so Coach wouldn't get on his butt so bad on Monday. So after the third quarter break, we're going to start the fourth quarter with Villa Rica. Got the ball second down and about 13 yards on their own 17. Got North Cobb beating Harrison 28-0. Lassiter struggling with Woodstock 16-7. I got an Allatoona 14, South Paulding 7 in the end of the third. So got a little battle going on down on the south side of the county here.
Fumble. He recovers.
Got a fumble in the backfield by Villa Rica. It was recovered by Villa Rica, but out after a long loss. That Marietta McEachern, by the way, was last week's score. Randy Riggs, sometimes he gets off the beaten path. Marietta's beaten Pebblebrook 24-14. What I really need to do is go ahead and ask Randy to step out of the building because he doesn't know how to provide accurate data for us.
Showing third down, but that's.
Villa Rica throws a screenplay, sniffed out quick like, and a tackle made, and I can't quite see that far. 45. DJ James sniffed it out, and man, that's going to make it tough for the punter. I think we've got a 4th down and looks to be at least 20, and he's going to have to punt standing on the pylon, I'm afraid. But it's not his first time tonight.
Actually, it'll be his second punt from his end zone there.
Deep in his end zone. Instead of getting about a 10-yard luxury gap between him and the defense, he's got about a 7.5-yard. Good punter, though. Pretty quick to get the ball. He's waiting on it. We're not rushing him. Looks like we're setting up for the return. Number 2, got a block by Mitchell Webb. Number 2 comes around the outside.
Around the corner.
And I am going to say sayonara Senoritas.
He's turned it in.
Oh, he almost took it to the
line.
house. He took it about the 3-yard line. Number 2, Marcus Gilbert's had a very strong night. Carries that ball about 47 yards to about 46 yards down to about the 3 or 4 yard line for a first down and goal by the. He's brought down by number 2 for
Jermaine Hutchinson.
Yeah, Jermaine Hutchins. But not after a very nice run back. The East Paulding Raiders set up a great wall. Mitchell Webb was back deep. Set up a great starting block to get to kick him in gear, and we're probably going to hear the cannon again.
Yeah, they were questioning about a block in the back, but it was a clear.
Kyler Neals at tailback. Kyler Neals at tailback. 45. DJ James at fullback. Fumble from the snap, but Kyler Neal gets it. He takes it down. I don't know if he quite made it in there.
Yep, they motion touchdown.
They did motion touchdown. Kyler Neal got one, which he deserves it. He leads that defense and offense like a man out there. Him and Kamani, they do a little shuffle tag out there on the sideline. Very cool. So 37-0 is the score after a meager 10-0 halftime score. East Paulding's rallied to put 27, probably fixing to be 28 with Hemp Hill's extra point. And they did that rather quick like. I have a question for you, Mickey.
It's good.
The clock is still running. Is that normal? Is that a mercy rule in high school football or something? Do they run the clock in high school football during the extra point and the mercy rule?
Looks like it.
I mean, yeah, because it's running,
Yeah, it's running out.
and it's still running right now. So I assume that that's a mercy rule. I got a score in the fourth quarter. Paulding County winning 17-7 over Lithia Springs. So I hope our buddies down there in the south part of the county, the Patriots, get that'd be their first win, won't it? Or is that their second win for the season? Not sure. Yeah. Anyway, they look like they may have an opportunity to beat the Lions and get a victory tonight. Up 17-7. You've got South Paulding and Allatoona in a battle down deep South Paulding County. 14-7 Allatoona was the last score I had on that. Last score I had on the North Paulding Woodland game was 43-0 North Paulding. And East Paulding has opened a can up here, winning 38-0 with 7 minutes to go in the game and a running clock. So looks like it will be a victory and a soon-to-be end of the ball game with a running clock. Hemp Hill's going to kick off.
I'm going to go ahead and put down 20-yard line on my.
Yeah, go ahead and put 20-yard line unless he trips.
Uh-oh.
He may have kicked it. He kicked it short.
He did.
How about that? It's going to be returned by Villa Rica. This kid's fast. That's at 28 again. Who had the 40-yard? No, it's 29,
29.
actually. Who is Anthony Jordan. So, very nice run back. He brings it back to their Villa Rica 33-yard line.
So he got it on the 10, so he had about 23 yards.
Very nice run back. He's never slowed down and he had pretty good blocking, and very nice run back for the Villa Rica Wildcats. Looks like we got a different quarterback in the game, at number 19 for Villa Rica, which is Ty Hill. Probably a younger quarterback to get some reps in a game that Villa Rica has conceded to loss. East Paulding has still got their starters out on defense, it appears. Got a handoff to 32 up the middle. Nice run, but he's met pretty firm after about a 1-yard gain. Number 32 is Maurice McGuire. So, well, he got a little more yards than I thought. He got about 2 or 3 yards. So that's a second down and 7 for the Villa Rica Wildcats on their own 35-yard line. Got about 5, a little bit less than 6 minutes to go in the game. East Paulding pretty secure with a 38-0 lead. Got a motion, handoff again to 32. He takes it up the middle. Very nice run by that guy. He holds the ball with both arms, lowers his shoulder, and churns it upfield for another 4, 5, 6 yards, and third down and about 2 yards for the East Paulding Raiders.
His shoulder width is about the same as number 2, their other running back. He's a little more compact and shorter to the ground.
That's right. East Paulding now starting to trade out some of their interior linemen and put in some second string folks. .32 again. I don't know. He's going to be probably just shy of a first down. Takes a nice hard lick by number 48, Romaine Gooden.
They already marked it first.
They already gave him a first down. Might have been a compliment.
I was going to say that was. Well,
Nevertheless, Villa Rica gets a first down. A little bit less than 5 minutes to go in the ball game. They got the ball on their own 44-yard line.
It's going to be the second time in the game if they cross the 50. And East says no. They're going to drive them back.
East does a nice smash mouth right there and stops them with about a half-yard gain, bringing up a second down and 9.5 for the Villa Rica Wildcats with about 4 minutes to go in the ball game.
I formation, shotgun, wide receiver right. Handoff again to number 32. Once again, doesn't look like he picks up. Well, with a second effort, he might have picked up a yard or two. No, he's going to stay right where he was with a 3rd down and 9. So Villa Rica is going to concede the ball game, just probably run the clock out. If they have to punt or turn it over on downs, I would like to think that East will just take the knees, and this game will be over in about 3 minutes. 38-0 East Paulding Raiders. Very stellar performance in the second half for the East Paulding Raiders. Shotgun, toss to the right, very nice play. Great run by this, probably a young kid, number 14, which is Marquez McFall. He didn't pick up very many yards, but it was actually a very well-designed play. So, we got a little bit less than 3 minutes, taking down about 2.5 minutes. We got a 4th down and 8. Obviously, Villa Rica will go for it. They have no other reason not to. They're probably going to take the timeout just to let the clock tick all the way down, and then they'll, either punt or call a Hail Mary or something. I don't know what they would do at this point. So, with the timeout, we're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the ball game. 38-0 will be the most likely the final score of this ball game. 28 points in the second half for the East Paulding Raiders. Only 10 in the first half. A heap more yards and a heap more creativity in the second half for the East Paulding Raiders. Number 18 set back to punt. He's going to kick it. I would assume that Mitchell Webb fair catches it. He does on his own 21. So, clock's still running. Right at 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
Yeah, that's Villa Rica is only 35 yards. They have 35 yards total for the second half. Which kind of falls in line with the first. This way, it's East Paulding dominating. Of course, East Paulding having the 4 possessions, each resulting in a touchdown. With 108 yards, 109 yards for the second half.
Had to be more than that. We had 97 on one drop.
I took the 3. You're right. That's.
We got the backup running back. Tay Ray is in the ball game. He hits it like a jackrabbit. Comes through the hole. We got Peyton Paris in there at quarterback. He hands off to Tay Ray, who gets about 5 or 6 yards. I know Kamani is without a doubt one of the best, if not the best, running backs in 5A football for this year. But I'm telling you, Tay Ray is a force to be reckoned with in the future. Much quicker, probably overall a little bit faster in top end. Not as strong or as big, but has the vision the same as Kamani. So I look forward to seeing him over the next couple of years. Big 4-5 runs it up the middle. That's DJ James. He rumbles and bumbles and gets about, 8, 10, 12 yards down to the East Paulding 43-yard line. So that'll be a first down for the East Paulding Raiders. They're really running the clock out with 43 seconds to go. This will probably be the last play. I don't know if they'll run it. Yeah, they'll probably hand off to Tay Ray. Yep, they hand off Tay Ray. Tay Ray is going to break it. He carries it all the way down for another 12 yards. So that'll be the final first down for the East Paulding Raiders. 12-yard gain. About 20 seconds to go in the game. Surely they're not going to call another play. They're going to call another play with 15 seconds. Peyton Paris under center.
Ref called time to get the change set.
The ref called time.
Or stopped it.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and let
clock's
this game
running.
in.
Yeah.
So that's probably the best anyway. So 38-0. The final boom goes off. East Paulding wins the ball game. And I want to say thanks to you guys, Randy Riggs, Mickey Skelton, Jonathan Jones, Thank you for joining us again for another Friday Night Football at the Boneyard.